Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cape Charles Town Council public hearing and regular meeting August 18th, 2022. Can I get a roll call, please?
Buckles present.
Holloway present.
Bennett present.
O'Brien present.
Grossman present.
Fulmer present.
Let it be known we've established a quorum. Can we all rise for a moment of silence and pledge allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, item 3A, public hearing, conditional use permit application for 11 Randolph Avenue for an accessory dwelling unit. Ms. Nunez,
Sure.
welcome.
Thank you. This was actually advertised and presented to you at last month's meeting, but we did not hold it because we did not have the Planning Commission's recommendation because we did not have a quorum in July. So with that said, what you're seeing is the same information. It is an application from Barbara O'Hare and her husband Bill O'Hare at 11 Randolph Avenue. They are seeking to convert their existing 720 square foot garage for an accessory dwelling, and they're only looking to convert half of that into an accessory dwelling. And they would provide one on-lot parking space, which would comply with our ordinance requirements. So it is before you for consideration this evening in the public hearing. I will make you aware at the Planning Commission, we did have no public comments and the public hearing was closed, and I will provide you that recommendation when we're finished with this hearing.
Thank you. Ms. Libby, anybody signed up to speak or any?
Nobody has signed up, and I have not received anything in writing regarding the public hearing.
Can I get a motion to close?
Close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Approval of the consent agenda, which has the approval of the agenda formats, approval of the minutes, approval of the May the 31st, 2022 financial report, approval of the June the 30th, 2022 financial report. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Can we move back to item 5?
Yes, we can, sorry. We're going to take a step back and go to public comments for items not subject to the advertised public hearing, 3 minutes per speaker. Ms. Libby, did we have anybody signed up?
Nobody has signed up, but I did receive one to be read into the record.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Grossman. Thank you.
This is from Richard Berger, the chairman of the Cape Charles Memorial Library Board of Trustees. It says, "Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the Town Council. I wanted to take a few moments of your time this evening to highlight some of the recent activities at our wonderful Cape Charles Memorial Library. First, I want to thank the town for the desperately needed repairs to the air conditioning system and the front entrance door last month. Moving on to library activities, the month of July set an all-time attendance record of over 2,000 patrons using the library's facilities, this in a town of roughly 800 permanent residents. More than 1,500 items were placed in circulation and over 300 people took advantage of the library's free Wi-Fi. The summer reading program continues with our children having read for 8,500 minutes as of the end of July. Sharon Sylvie, our library manager, and Betsy Doherty, our library assistant, hosted 5 delightful special programs for children in July, including a partially grant-funded puppet theater production, reading and craft programs, and guests from the Virginia Living Museum and the Eastern Shore Soil and Water Conservation District. 150 of our local and visiting children and a few parents and grandparents were treated to these excellent age-appropriate activities, and there were snacks. At the end of July, the Friends of the Cape Charles Memorial Library Organization hosted a very successful book sale fundraiser. Each year, the Friends group donates time and money to assist the town in purchases for the library's benefit. Several library board members helped out with the book sale, and Cape Charles Main Street also provided volunteers. Our Cape Charles Memorial Library is one of our community's treasured assets. I encourage every Cape Charles resident and visitor to drop in and see what the library has to offer. Respectfully submitted, Richard Berger, Chairperson.
Thank you, Ms. Libby. Unfinished business, none. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but I don't think it's been on any unfinished business since John's been here, so. New business, conditional use permit, application 11 Randolph Avenue. Ms. Nunez, I believe that's you again.
As stated during the public hearing, the Planning Commission did take this up, and their recommendation is to recommend approval to the Town Council of CUP 2022-004 for an accessory dwelling unit at 1 Randolph Avenue on the application filed by Barbara and Bill O'Hare, and that was seconded by Commissioner McCoy, and the motion was approved unanimously.
Okay. Can I get a
I'll make a
motion?
motion that we approve the CUP 2022-004 for an accessory dwelling unit at 11 Randolph Avenue.
Oh, thank you.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Item B, appointment of zoning administrator and subdivision agent. Ms. Rosie?
So I'm very pleased to be able to bring this item to you tonight. As you know, since I've been here, I've been struggling to try and find staffing for our planning and zoning department. And Ms. Nunez stepped up and helped us out about 18 months ago as an interim. And she's done a phenomenal job for us, and we're very pleased that she's willing to stay a little bit longer and take on the permanent position. So it is with great enthusiasm that I request that you approve appointing her as zoning administrator and subdivision agent.
Make a motion, we appoint Katie Nunez as the town zoning administrator and subdivision agent. Second.
Enthusiastically.
Any discussion?
Just a question, those are actually two positions?
Yes, there are two different positions in the code that you appoint.
Okay, thank you.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thanks, Katie.
Thank you, Katie.
You're stuck with us now.
No turning back. Item C, design and engineering to connect the Keckwells. This is almost excited as the last one.
I know.
So, as you know, we've been working for a while now with studies that are still in the field on our capacities for water and sewer. And as we've reported previously, early data is showing that water is our most immediate concern. As you can see by some of the numbers here, that we're approaching, 91, 92% capacity on our peak time, at our peak time. Our limiting factor at the moment is actually the withdrawal permit. The Keckwells are already covered by our existing permit, or the limiting factor is the withdrawal permit volume. But when we have a separate task order with this consultant to put together the application to increase the withdrawal. But in anticipation of that, we are going to finish the design to connect those Keckwells, which will provide us with the additional quantity and improve the quality. Additionally, which was not part of the original plan, is engineering for a treated water line back in the same trench, so that we can further develop that area, especially since we're looking to, and we're helping to assist workforce housing developments in that area. The cost did come in a bit above budget. We budgeted for $60,000, but we don't need all of it right away. Part of the bid services, that can wait and be budgeted with the construction, and we'll award that separately. It still puts us about $7,000, $7,200 over the budgeted amount. However, that's what we have contingencies for. So I've got a contingency account in there that I would request, allow me to use that to fund the difference. Recommend approval.
Make a motion, the town manager be authorized to execute the GHD contract task order number 9 for design phase services in the amount of $67,260. The $7,260 to be funded from the budgeted contingency amount.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second, any discussion?
Question, just make sure the bid phase is not included in this amount right now?
Correct.
Okay.
And not to do with this motion, but the withdrawal permit,
That was within my signing authority, so I just did it.
okay, and they're working on that now?
They're
I
working
mean,
on
the
it.
last time we went through this, it took about 18 months.
Yes, that's why we're working on it right now.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Up next. Elderly and disabled tax exemption update.
So Debbie's here to can explain it a lot better than I can, but essentially we want to keep pace with the county and offer the same exemptions to our residents and help provide some of the relief, especially in lieu of the recent increases in valuations. So it's laid out here what is being proposed, the ordinance that needs to be adopted. We don't have an exact amount of what the fiscal impact could be because additional people might apply who haven't applied before, but the treasurer's done an estimate at the end of the packet and did this item to give a rough idea of what the financial impact might be, and it's not significant, so I recommend approval, and if you have any questions, Debbie's here to answer them.
You have a recommendation?
I'll make a recommendation that we approve ordinance 2022-0818.
We got a motion, we got a second.
The only thing that differs here with the county, and I don't know whether that county did it by design or just overlooked it, but the amount of income for a household member, a relative other than a spouse that can be withheld or deducted from the household income, has been $3,000 for over 16 years. The county left it at $3,000, but I propose that we change it to $6,000. That's designed for different reasons, medical, things like that. It should not be included, I believe, in their household income.
Right.
So that's the only difference, otherwise it mirrors the county's.
Got a motion, got a second, any more discussion? Okay. I move for adoption of ordinance 2022-0818, update and keep Charlestown Code Chapter 66, Article 7, real estate tax exemption from the taxation for certain elderly and handicapped persons, Section 66-118, 66-119, and 66-120 as noticed. If we go to reading of this ordinance, roll call vote.
Buckles, yes.
Holloway, yes.
Bennett, yes.
O'Brien, yes.
Grossman, yes.
Fulmer, yes.
Let it be known as unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Budget reappropriation request, schedule a public hearing. Mr. Hosey?
So, Mr. Mayor, as we kind of outlined briefly here, at the end of the fiscal year, it's something of a guessing game trying to close out one year to the next. It was exceptionally difficult last year with supply chain issues and related incidents. Anytime we propose a change greater than 1% of the budget, we're required a public hearing, and this one goes over that threshold. There's a detailed listing of the requests being made. A new version was laid on the table tonight. Thank you, Councilman Grossman, for his eagle eye, picking out a few corrections that we needed to make. And in addition to the technical corrections, there was one addition that was added for the DCJS police grant for $3,100 that was added and that we just found out about. So again, I'm not asking you to approve this tonight, just to set the public hearing for next time. And but if you have any questions on any of this, Debbie are here to answer.
Okay.
Make a motion, we set a public hearing for September 15th, 2022 regarding requested amendment to the fiscal year 2023 budget.
Second?
Got a motion, got a second, any discussion?
Yeah, just a question. Normally, we look at it at mid-year, January timeframe to do this, but this is coming.
This is not the same thing. This is not the
Right.
mid-year adjustment. We will still do a mid-year adjustment at the end of this calendar year-ish. This is just to cover items that lagged in the fiscal year.
This is expenditures from last fiscal year that
Right.
weren't made, or planned expenditures
Right.
that were not made.
Okay.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, Mr. Hosey, you're up.
couple of things I'd like to mention. I spoke with Mr. Kemp today, and he was just briefing me on the status of the Yacht Center. As you know, as I briefed before, the lease with the current operator is going to be over at the end of the month, and he's lining up a replacement. And so,
Who's lining up a replacement?
Mr. Kemp.
Okay.
And so it looks like they're about to pencil an agreement with Oasis. So to run not just their portion of the harbor, but also the dock over south of Mason. The good news on that is that the clam operations are probably over from this point forward. So anyway, he wanted to let me know that will take effect starting on September 1st. Now, that does not affect our contract with our current management company. That continues, even though they will not be operating that part of the Yacht Center anymore. So we'll have more discussions on the harbor at the end of the season, and we'll evaluate options there later. But I just wanted to brief you that that's what's going on the Yacht Center side of things.
And claims, you're saying relative to season or no? They're
No,
just
they
saying
they appear to be done.
Okay.
And under this new management firm, Mr. Kemp feels confident that he can get revenue by other means.
Do you know what they do, what Oasis does?
Yeah, I mean, they're a management company for our marinas, and they interviewed, or they applied to manage our marina at the time that we
Yes,
selected.
they're a highly qualified
Yeah, they're
company to do
a
it.
very, very
We
highly
considered
qualified
them
company.
to do ours. So,
So so the Yacht Center part will continue to operate on the same business model as it has, or?
that's not
unclear?
clear, that wasn't made clear to me today.
What, and how long is the town's marina contract, management contract
It
good?
expires December 23. So
And there's-
so the rest of this year and next season. It was a
So-
3-year contract.
And they haven't expressed any interest in leaving? They're
No.
happy to stay?
No, in fact, I specifically addressed this with them, and they wanted to stay. They were hoping to find other activities to continue some of their operations here. The other thing I need to bring up, unfortunately, to let you know that I was notified by DEQ that we have another notice of violation pending on the wastewater treatment plant. I have not received it yet. I expect to get it either tomorrow or Monday. And I'll have more details then. So I'm not going to go into something I haven't seen the details for, but I just wanted to give you a heads up that there's been another issue. And I will be briefing you more on it later.
How frequently are they inspecting now? Are they inspecting more frequently than they used to, or?
Yes. That's the main stuff. I just wanted to also let you know, I'm going to ask it to be out tomorrow, Friday, and Monday, helping my mother move into an assisted care living facility up in Pennsylvania, so I need to go and help her with that. So I'll be reachable, obviously, normally. I just won't be in the office on Friday or Monday. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Mr. Fulmer?
Just a couple of little, well, not little things, but one, we're coming near the end of the summer, or the high season of summer. And again, I just want to say thank you to the town staff. I know they've all been stretched really thin, and I think I've mentioned it before, but I've gotten a lot of positive feedback, particularly from other merchants, on how well our public works crew has done in keeping up with, the trash and the other demands, and cleaning up after some people who don't clean up well after themselves. So a big thank you to staff on that. And as you mentioned, Mr. Kemp, I'm glad to hear that there will be some change, but maybe we could have an increased police presence, because we have the last few weeks, the semis late at night have been going much too fast down Mason Avenue. And that is an hour when there's still people coming back from bars and walking, and we don't have this problem, you know, it's not the fact that they're 18-wheelers, because we have those during the day, but when they go by too fast, they also shake these old buildings, and I've had reports of minor damage in some of the stores, just from the excessive vibration.
Is there a rough time frame of the night that's happening?
Um, I mean, it's dark, it's late, it's at least 10 or 11.
And they're coming from
The
the
clam
Kemp
operation.
property,
Yeah.
although they're not offloading anything.
I don't know, there's been a ship down there for something, I don't know what it is.
That's a supply boat that's been down there,
Yeah.
so I don't know what
But,
she's
I mean,
doing.
there's like, last night or the night before, there were several, and that's the only thing I know of where there's multiple big semis operating in the middle of the night.
Okay.
Mr. Grossman?
I'll continue this town staff thanks. The leak at the corner of Plum and Mason was a big thing. And I spent hours watching in the shade, sweating, these guys down in the pit. And the teamwork that was exhibited between John Lockwood and the utilities people were phenomenal. So I really want to commend them on the way they tackled that, and it was a pretty extensive breakdown, a pretty extensive change out of pipe. The other thing I wanted to mention was Kip Pekin regarding housing. We took a tour, Mr. Hosey, myself, Charlie Kolakowski, Karen Zmarowski, 2 days ago, losing track, but in any case, they took us around. They have a studio that's already laid out, and they're looking to now have 30 units out of the 105 done by mid-September. All right, so in a rough, I'll just, they'll settle on pricing, but $1,000 for a studio really fits into the affordability, and it's fully furnished, big, large stove. You can provide extra washer and dryer in the units, they have full refrigerator, so it really is a nice thing, and it's one that will
Includes
be.
utilities,
It
right?
includes utilities and the internet.
Yeah.
So the only thing I would add is that it's really not 1,000, it's 1,100, because none of the apartment, because it's an extra $100 for the washer and
For the
dryer, and
washer
they
and
said there
dryer.
weren't any without washer and dryers. So it's really 1,100, but it's still, considering everything you're getting,
What's the square footage of a
they're
studio?
not very big, they're about 350.
So it's like
Yeah,
a little
I think it
house.
was a little higher,
I
but
have
that's.
pictures, if anybody wants to see them
Oh.
tonight.
I'd love to.
Yeah, I've got pictures too.
Yeah, Karen forwarded them, so I'll provide the share.
Yeah, the way they laid it out, it was well done. For such a small space, they kind of petitioned it into
Yeah.
separate areas, and for what it is, it's nice.
And they'll provide 1 and 2 bedrooms. They hadn't set up anything there, but,
Well, and if that includes utilities and
does,
internet,
it
then
does.
that accounts for at least 200 of that right there.
And a pool and a gym and gathering space, and there's a lot of common areas there too.
Excellent.
So that's a
Exciting.
positive step forward. We get word, we've already passed word to coastal precast and the school system. That's all I have.
Mrs. Bryan?
I wanted to echo the positive feedback for the Public Works guys. I'm down at the beach at between 6 and 6:30 in the morning, and I saw in John's report where he talks about it's difficult sometimes to clean up the beach. People are down that early cleaning their beach spot or going back to their beach spot that they didn't break down from the day before. But despite all that, the beach has been it really has looked good all summer after we got past the 4th. So, they're a good group of guys. They do a great job.
Mr. Bennett?
Nothing for me, thanks.
Ms. Holly?
2 big things coming up. Love Fest, the 3rd annual Love Fest is September 3rd. I do need help with decorating. Some folks at this dais have helped before with hanging of decor. We're doing it at 10:30 on September 3rd. And Main Street is co-hosting this with Central Park. It's going to be a great event. It's going to start at 6 that night and go till 9. So we'll have a little bit of advanced start before the normal 7 o'clock time.
and lots of good stuff happening there. There's also room if you'd like to serve beer or one of those things. We have a beer truck, so if you want to sign up for that, just contact Karen. It's the best way to do it. You can let me know if you want to decorate. I'm the decorating lead again. And then the community potluck, we're bringing that back after the break during COVID. Last time we did it, we had 350 participants. So we're excited about doing that. I need to get with Julie to talk through tables and tents and those types of things. But we are in need of grillers, people who can man the grill. Hamburgers and hot dogs, qualified grillers. Exactly.
I don't think I need to show my credentials.
Just put it on your calendar from 6 to 8 on September 10th, so that's the following Saturday. It's the last concert of the season, and it's going to be great. So you'll start to see some promotion and stuff about that, and I'll make sure you guys all get the flyer for it. And then I just wanted to talk about, I don't know that we've ever done this. I can remember back when we were on Cape Charles Business Association, Andrew, us coming and doing kind of a report to the town, kind of from a business perspective. And it kind of rang in my head that we should have some type of postseason discussion, like wrap up, kind of talk about what really worked, what were some really tough spots for the staff, what are things that we can do, you know, just from a town council perspective. I think this is such an important part of our economy and the difficulty for our residents and our businesses. I think it would be a healthy discussion some way. I don't have it in my head how to do that.
I'd be curious to hear what the chief of police has to say,
Yeah.
the chief of public works, you know
So
what I mean?
I don't know, we can noodle it down on how that works. You know, I don't want to get into it being a, you know, complaining session. I want it to be productive, but it rang true when, I remember that year you did that, and that was so helpful to kind of hear it from a business perspective, what that was, and maybe that we have that as a part of it, through Main Street or something. And then, Ellen, kind of banking on your idea from the ice cream social, I hope that we can get that on the calendar.
Yes, I was planning to do that.
Okay, because I think that's a great thing for our residents to kind of
Yeah.
feel like they take back the town a little bit and feel good. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's been a year already.
I thought, am I dreaming that was a year? But I think it was
Wow.
like.
But that was really
Yeah.
good, because it wasn't just the
October,
faces
It
we
was
always
Right.
see.
September
Right.
9th,
Oh, was it?
8th, 9th. It was September.
So it really was, okay.
Yeah,
But I just think that's a nice, healthy way to
Yeah.
say
absolutely.
what's
Yeah,
coming
thanks for the reminder.
Yeah.
I had every intention to do it, but man, it just snuck up on me.
back. It didn't mean, I was thinking November, so I was
I
really
would,
off.
I would like to suggest that we use a different ice cream vendor,
Spread the
kind of
word.
rotate
Spread
it
it
out,
out?
yes,
Yeah.
rotate it around.
Yeah.
So we got 3 in time.
It's just hard, that space is so
yeah.
nice.
If they can
No,
accommodate us.
we've also got where the memorial is.
Yeah, that's true.
And also Strawberry Plaza, couldn't we?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
the
yeah,
big
they could
palace
bring
would
in,
go
yeah,
over there.
that's right.
Yep.
That's
Can I
good.
say one more thing?
No, you
So you
want
might want
more
to go
time,
to
huh?
the summer concert this Saturday, because my soon-to-be nephew-in-law is the lead singer of the Tisburys, who are performing.
I was trying to
On
remember why I
Saturday.
recognized that, and you told me that.
And
Okay,
I'll be announcing them on stage, so.
wonderful.
They're a great band, yeah, they play outside of Philly. They're playing for the WXPN Summer Concert Series, which is a big deal outside
Yeah.
of Philly, so.
Good.
Yeah, it's big.
Yes.
I'm good.
Mr. Buckholz?
I would like to just tag on with Tammy. I think a roundtable would be a really good idea, just to bring in some of the business owners and some of the public works staff and whoever, so we can all just basically hash out what worked, what didn't work, because if we keep looking at what we've done over the last couple of years, we've averaged anywhere from 15 to 20% increase every year. So, and we haven't really increased our staff that much. So I was talking about understaffed public works 2 years ago. I know they're a lot more efficient now, but that's a tremendous amount of work. But I'd like to get some feedback from some of the business owners to the town, so we can actually see if there's anything we can do from a budget standpoint to address it.
Well, I really think a big piece of that is the residents. And I don't know if we need to have these separately or how we do it, like roundtable discussions.
Yeah,
like,
that's,
it's a lot of people.
listen to it, yeah, it's getting
is.
unwieldy
But
very,
I
very
think-
quick.
I think it's different kind of.
Maybe it's really three
Three
separate ones.
sessions,
And
yeah,
have one with staff.
yeah,
And realistically, I think we need to listen
yes,
and ask questions. And the same with the businesses, and the same with the residents. It's just
yeah,
listen to, and hear what they're saying.
yeah.
And
Yeah, because it's actually three different things, especially the residents are different than the business, the needs are completely different.
Right.
If we do the business ones, could we roll that in with an MS Connect?
Yeah,
where
so we
already-
do a monthly
I think we
Main
get much
Street
better
Connect for
participation.
Main Street.
That's
So
a good idea.
It could easily be one segment of that is.
Because those are well attended and a
Yeah,
standalone meeting probably would
Yeah.
not.
I think feedback would be good.
yeah.
And I'll echo that, just the, even going with public, to the water plant, and I can get ready to go back to the sewage plant,
Yeah.
so, on there. Anyway, very, very, very pleased with what the staff's done, with what little, compared to where we've been in the last 6-7 years, it's phenomenal. To see how efficient they've gotten.
Well,
And that's it.
I can honestly say that we were all thinking on the same page, because it's, going down the beach and through the park and everywhere, everything, the trash bags, the poop bags, everything's always been stocked. And the other night, I actually was driving east on Randolph. As soon as that water pipe busted, I thought the tanker had just come in, fire department had just come in, and I figured it just overflowed the tanker. Well, we went around and went down Washington Bay, and I come back up, and by the time I got back to, what's his name, Patrick was already there, and.
It was close to midnight.
Yeah, it was like 11:30, quarter to 12. It was like 11:30, quarter to 12, and I said, what y'all got planned? He said, well, we're gonna try to find a shut off here. I said, well, don't drain that damn tank. Whatever you do, shut it all down. Shut the whole tank. But anyway, they, again, the next day, as Paul touched, I didn't sit out in the shade. I don't have that luxury, Paul. But, but I did come by, and the guys, was working super hard, and it was 900 degrees, well, it was 95 degrees, and 95% humidity, and they didn't stop. They were sitting out there, they took the breaks, and hats off to all of them, for the job they'd done of getting everything back together. Not only did they get it back together, they did it in a timely fashion. So hats off to the public works crew and, all the town staff really, this summer, police department, and everybody else, so. Other than that, I don't have anything else, so
Do you have some announcements?
I do, somewhere. I'm sure I do. I'm sure Libby has.
What did you do with that side of the table tonight?
The what?
There's something going on over there.
They're keeping you on track, let me tell you.
We better. Somebody better look after me. Okay, I do have announcements. September the 1st, Town Council Work Session, 6:30 PM, tentative. September the 5th, Town Office is closed for Labor Day. September the 15th, Town Council regular meeting, 6:30 PM.
So we're saying, John, you're saying no.
I currently don't have
September 1st.
anything planned for September 1.
Okay.
So it's very, 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 very tentative
And appreciate it.
and appreciated. So, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?